Hey everyone, and welcome to part 19 of Let's Clone a Pokemon Game. Now, before we start on this, I kind of want to talk about what's been going on lately. I haven't really made tutorials in about 2 months now or so, maybe longer than that, I might guess. But I've been really busy with work back at Activision, and our schedules have just been completely crazy with lots of hours and lots of overtime, and I don't really have time to sit down and actually plan out my new tutorials or anything like that. But I will be taking suggestions for what people want in the future. I still have a few things that I want to do with all that, and I definitely want to finish this How to Clone a Pokemon game series, and I also want to make other How to Clone games that people have suggested in the past. So I will be doing that. Don't think that the tutorials are finished with. I'll be having a lot of free time coming up in the future. At the end of summer, I should have a year off from work because there's some rule that after you work there for 3 years that you have to take off for a year. So I'll be spending a lot of that time just making games, making tutorials, and yeah, just all that stuff. So yeah, in this tutorial, it's just going to be very simple, very basic, just to get back into the swing of things. One user in the past suggested a better way of doing the actual pause menu itself, and it just saves on a little bit of code and it's a little better organized. So I'm just going to go over that. Sorry that I don't remember your username, but I can put it in the description or something like that. But yeah, so we'll just jump into our pause menu code. We worked on this a while back, I believe, and it was kind of messy. We had a lot of different if statements and stuff. And it is better to use actual switch statements, which I didn't really think about using this in the past for an actual GUI. I've always used switch statements in different functions and different areas like that for calling things. So I guess this is a lot better way to set this up. So pretty much what you want to do, just replace that other index variable with just an int, and pretty much this menu is going to be keeping track of, which menu is open at the current time. So each number will represent a different menu that will be open. And these are just the GUI buttons. So when you press them now, it assigns menu a number. So 1 is going to be equal to index, 2 creatures, 3 back bag, or just bag, whatever, backpack, and so on and so forth. So if you just go down the list, each one that we click on will change that number and it'll display a different part of the inventory. Now, you can also use this other cool statement for actually quitting out of the application itself, for actually exiting the game. And this is a built-in Unity function, and it pretty much just exits the window. You could also apply maybe a save function to this if you want to be safe, but we already have our save option here. So if the player doesn't want to save, then they don't have to, they're not forced to. But I think it would be nice to have some kind of pop-up asking if they want to save when they go to exit the game. And you don't have to just make it exit the application. It could actually exit to the main menu or something like that. But I guess for a PC title or something like that, you probably want to just exit the game in some way with a button. And now we'll go down to here. So a switch statement, which we've used in the past, it pretty much, whatever this variable is, so menu, so whatever number that is, it's going to, call whatever in there and then break off and not call the rest of this code. So unlike an if statement, it pretty much just calls one of these things, or if you have, I guess, multiple statements with that same number. So if, actually, no, what am I saying? For the case one, that int has to equal to what that int is. So if our menu equals 1, it's going to call this case statement because it's 1. Or if it's 2, 3, 4, etc., and it'll only display that stuff. So it's just going to display a GUI box for now. We can add other stuff to this in the future if we really want to, for our actual menu itself. So we don't just have to display a GUI box. We could go down here, add another line, add maybe more GUI buttons or whatever we need for that menu. And also within here, we could probably also add other statements and stuff for displaying different things. But that'll be in the future for adding different stuff. And if you Yeah, and then just this update code's just the same for displaying the actual GUI itself. So pretty much nothing has really changed since last time. It's just kind of an improvement over the previous one. So if we go back in the game, press P, everything displays the same. You might get a better performance out of using it this way and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I also wanted to talk about a few other things. I'm still working on how to actually improve the combat system itself with using attacks for each monster. I kind of have been running into some errors with that. I guess I have to code it a different way or find a more simple way of doing that because it gets kind of confusing when you're working with, multiple arrays and classes and stuff and trying to mix that all together. You're going to get some kind of error. So maybe I'll plan out a better way of doing that. But I think in the future, I do want to focus on a few other things before I get back into the combat. Definitely an inventory system where we can actually store items and we can go to a shop. And each shop NPC has different items that you can buy. And I'll probably be setting that up in the future. That's something I'm more looking forward to. Also, maybe a mechanic for the bicycle so you can ride around a lot faster than you would walking and stuff like that.